Welcome, everybody. This is Darren Fisher, and this is the market roundup for Thursday, January 12th, 2023. So let's go ahead and get started. So taking a look at the market performance today, Dow was up 0.2%, S&P was up 1/3, NASDAQ was up 0.5. Now, the real winner today was the Russell 2000. Now, this is up 1 2/3, and this is looking really good. Oil was up just over 1, and gold was up 1 1/4. As far as daily news go, the CPI numbers came in line with forecast. Year-over-year inflation was at 6.5%. So the markets, that's probably what the markets wanted to see. But there was a little bit of turmoil right there. You see this long lower shadow on right here. And so that means at one point we had almost given up all of our gains. Then the bulls came back in and took us up there. And we had a nice, decent little gain right there as well. You can see the NASDAQ did a little bit better today. You can see the NASDAQ is just finally broken over and closed nicely over its 50-period moving average. So while it's not as strong as what the S&P is, it's looking a lot better than it was before. You're looking at the heat map right there. You're just kind of broad-based right here. I mean, you've got healthcare. You had some stuff down in that, medical devices, diagnostic research, and a little bit of weakness in it as well. Consumer defensive. It's your Walmart, your Coca-Cola, your Costco. And basically, you got consumer staples is what it was. Had a little bit of red in there too. Everything else was generally looking pretty good. So let's take a look at our market outlook. For the rest of this week, I'm gonna +1. Just a mild little melt up. We'll talk about it a little bit later. Monthly outlook, I'm also to +1. I mean, technically, I could go to a +2 if I wanted to, but we've come pretty far, pretty fast. In this action right here that happened today with that long lower shadow leads me to believe that there are some bears that are trying to take over. They can't do it yet, and the bulls are in control right now. But there's a significant portion out there that are going to try to sell this market. So that's why I'm just at a very mild +1 right now. A couple of possible trades. And we're looking at bullish trades that we could have. EVR, NetEase, all these out there. I mean, you can read them right here. So taking a look, right here. This is EVER. This is a nice bullish trade. Nice, high base, high flag pattern. You can call it an ascending triangle if you want to. I mean, this just looked really, really good to me. Really wants to break out above that 16 level. If you wanted to wait for it to break out above the 16 level, that's completely fine. If you could get into something like very you could get into something with a very short-term diagonal if you wanted to. Since if you can find weeklies for this, tomorrow's going to be expiration. No, look, it's looking pretty good. FBIN, we closed up, 1.13%. Cleared out a lot of resistance right there. Nice, flag pattern head. We had an engulfing bullish candle on Thursday, and got our nice confirmation. You'd see a long lower shadow. The bears tried to come in. The bulls just slapped them down and said, "Nope, we're bringing this thing back up." So this one, broke through, 62. It's currently at 62.67. This one looks like a pretty good trade as well, especially considering that the resistance was there at 60, cleared it out nicely. So this one's looking nice as well. On the bearish side, we've got GPC, to the downside right there. The markets have been going up, but you can see this is this weakened and continues to be weak. The 20-period moving average firmly on its way down. You can just see that 50 as well starting to arc downward. And this thing has been below the 50-period moving average, which that's our line in the sand since about mid-December. So definitely one that I would expect to see a bearish move from. Another one that's looking a little bearish right there. Nice little low base we got there is PANW. Again, the markets are doing well, and this thing just can't catch a break. It did have a long lower shadow, so buyers did come in, but it made no real advancement today at all. I mean, this thing's in a low base and looks like it just wants to go lower. So for tomorrow's outlook, I'm expecting a slow melt up on Friday. I mean, we had some nice action today, but it was a little bit back and forth there. So I think the bulls are still going to be in control tomorrow. They're going to try to close out the week with some really good gains, then close out on their highs. That just adds momentum to taking it into next week. So I think we just I don't think we're going to get a massive move tomorrow. There's really nothing out there to move it. So just watch for that slow grind up, from the open until the close. And I think that's where we end up right there. Economic reports, preliminary University of Michigan consumer sentiment, as well as the preliminary inflation expectations. I don't think these are going to likely move the markets. I think the big news was actually yesterday and today. Earnings reports out there. We've got United Health and then a lot of the big banks as well. JP Morgan, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, BlackRock, and Citi Bank as well. So that's what we expect to go on. Thanks for your time. Have a great day.